YouTube. What's up, baby? This is crazy, man. I tried to do this video the other night. My phone overheats. I tried to do the video tonight, bruh. And as soon as I'm about to be done with the video, bro. As soon as I'm about to be done with the video, I get an Amber Alert, bro. And, my bad, Amber Alert, what I'm saying, it's a serious situation. But, yo, why at the end of my video? Why not in the beginning or something like that? Now I got to do the video all over again, bro. This is crazy. Anyways, man. YouTube. What's up, baby? We're back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I'm Callie. Today, we're going to be talking about Cobra Kai Season 5, Episode 3, entitled Playing with Fire. Now, if you've been in this channel before, you already know what we do. We started off with the premise, 3 favorite scenes, the grade, and then we on to the next one, right? So, again, Cobra Kai Season 5, Episode 3, entitled Playing with Fire. Now, I'm about to do this as fast as I can, because like I said, this is the third time, bro. God. Alright, now look, we open up with Chosen and Daniel, and they're with their friends at this golf course. They're playing golf. They finish playing golf. Daniel goes to order everyone some drinks, and then Terry ends up showing up. Terry tells Daniel to stand down. I know what you're doing. I know you got Chosen on your side. I got friends too. And if you keep going the way that you're going, trying to go against me, you're not going to like the way the story ends. But of course, Daniel and Chosen are going to stand up, and they're not going to back down, and they're going to continue doing what they want to do, right? From there, we see Miguel is back home. He's back home with Carmen, his grandmother, and Johnny, and they're all sitting down, and they're about to have some breakfast, all right? Now, the breakfast that Miguel cooks looks horrible. So Carmen takes a bite of that and goes in the bathroom and throws up. And you're like, well, she probably threw up because he cooked some horrible food. Keep note of that. So anyways, after that, we see that Samantha is depressed, and she's depressed because of the situation with Miguel, the situation with the dojo closing, the situation that she lost against Tori, so that's why the dojo is closing. And so because of this, she's in a depressed mood. But we see her talking to her brother Anthony, and they just have like this quick little conversation, nothing super important. Then from there, we see that Chosen and Daniel talk about calling Terry's friend before he can call. And so they decide to call Mike Barnes. Now, if you've seen the movies, you know who Mike Barnes is. So anyways, from there, we see Johnny talking to Carmen, and we find out that she might be pregnant. And so this is the reason why she probably threw up in the beginning, and not necessarily because of Miguel's bad cooking, but more so because she was, dealing with the pregnancy. So then from there, we see Hawk, and he's getting a tattoo at this tattoo parlor. And we see that Dimitri as well as Miguel is there, right? And Hawk was basically covering up his old tattoo that was on his chest, and his new tattoo basically represents a new beginning, which is exactly what he's dealing with, all right? So they end up talking to Miguel like, hey, Robbie was there while, your father came to get you from Mexico and stuff like that. That must have been hard. And so Miguel explains to them, like, even though Robbie is kind of a douche, like, and he probably should get his butt whooped, whatever it may be, like, what it really is I'm trying to respect, my father's, wishes, which is he wishes that both of us can get along with each other, despite what happened in our past, so, and it's cool to see that, Miguel is doing that, right? So anyways, we see that Miguel gets a text from Samantha, and she tells him, like, hey, let's meet up tonight, we gotta talk. So he tells that to Dimitri, and he tells that to Hawk, and they're like, yo, bro, this is a bad thing that's happening. Like, she's probably gonna end up breaking up with you, right? He's like, oh no, I don't want that. Like, what can I do to fix this? And they're like, look, text her back, try to make sure everything's okay. Like, so he does that, and then when he does that, we see that Samantha is with her friends too, and they're like, oh, well, he's picking up on the fact that you're probably about to break up with him. So keep it short, keep it clean, same demeanor, and still tell him, let's meet up tonight. And so that's how the conversation ends between them. And then Miguel's like to Hawk and Dimitri, like, hey, bro, like, what can I do to fix this? And they're like, well, you got to do something. He's like, and they're like, well, why don't you go get her a gift? And so he's like, all right, all right. So then that's how that situation ends right there for that moment. Um, so then we see Daniel and Chosen, and they go to see Mike, but they're following him, right? And they end up seeing like certain things that kind of point to him being like a bad character. You're like, oh, okay, this dude is still on some devious stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Daniel ends up telling Chosen to stay in the car. I'm gonna go sneak in the building so I can go try to talk to the dude. So Chosen stays back. Daniel heads to the building. All right. Then we see Carmen and Johnny, and they end up going to get a pregnancy test from the store. And we notice that Johnny is very nervous about what's about to take place because although he already has a child, he was very much so absent from that child's life for a long period of time. So he probably never even dealt with this whole beginning phases of the baby phase, right? And so because of that, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like he's dealing with it for the first time, and he's nervous about it. So then from there we see Miguel getting a gift for Sam, and what he ends up getting her is this necklace. It's like a golden necklace with an octopus on it with some like little blue diamonds or whatever you want to say, right? And so this is what he plans to give to Sam, so that way it can kind of soften the blow of their situation and all the negativity that's going on, right? And then from there we see Daniel does actually sneak into the facility where Mike works at, and he ends up talking to Mike as well, and we end up finding out that Mike actually works at a furniture store. He sells furniture. So he's not a bad character like everybody was thinking, because of the things that they were seeing at first. It kind of was like, oh, this dude is like doing some devious stuff, but come find out, what I'm saying, once you really know what's going on, it ain't even that at all. So anyways, from there we see Johnny is actually at his apartment, and he's trying to prepare for the baby. Like, even though he just found out that Shorty's pregnant, the baby won't be here for a long time. Like, he's still trying to, let me read up on these videos, I'm gonna read up on these books. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, here we go, da 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 da, and child proofing everything, and redecorating stuff and making everything look like new, and what I'm saying, there's a lot of things like that. So he's getting prepared, what I'm saying, and that's what a good father would do, what I'm saying. So I'm proud of you, bro. From there we see from there we see Sam ends up chilling at this spa with her friends, and she like I said, she's lost because of everything that she's been going through. And being that Miyagi-Do is shut down, she has time to really reflect on who she really is as a person and what's really important to her. And so her friends take her to the spa so that she can have some reflection time and kind of just deal with her problems on her own. They tell her that there's just like little chamber little thing that she can go into where she can just kind of sit in there, relax, and kind of like meditate, what I'm saying? So she ends up going in there. Now when she goes in there, you know how you end up dealing with your demons, right? Well, she ends up fighting her demons, right? So we see her father, we see we see her father, we see Robbie, we see Miguel, we see like certain individuals, right? And we notice that these are individuals that she's having problems with, right? So what ends up happening is one of the last people that show up is actually her, but she's in a black karate uniform, and this is like either a representation of like the darkness that she's going through, or maybe like just a version, like maybe she can see herself inside of Tori. Like, I don't know, bro, but yeah. So she ends up fighting against her evil version, if you will, and just as she's about to lose, her friend ends up waking her up from the hallucination, and yeah. So that's how that scene went. So from there we see Daniel asks Mike, is there any way that you can help us deal with Terry? He's like, bro, like, I live in a different lifestyle now. I'm married, what I'm saying? I got this furniture store that I'm running, and I'm not really about all that stuff, and you can only respect that. And Daniel's like, bro, like, it's crazy how you took like a whole 180, what I'm saying? Like, you're not even on that devious scene no more, bro. You like really just on the straight and narrow, like on a good path, bro. And he's like, yeah, things have changed. And then so from there, Daniel's like, well, look, I mean, is there anything um, that you can like tell me or whatever it may be? And I guess at the moment, like maybe he doesn't remember. And so, anyways, like after that, Daniel and Mike end up play fighting for a little bit, right? And then we see Chosen that's been, he's been sitting outside waiting for Daniel to return. And he's like, yo, this has been a while since Daniel's been there. He ain't even like, so let me go check him out. So he goes and he looks in the door. And when he looks at the door, he sees that Mike and Daniel are play fighting. And so the Chosen, he's like, bro, these fools are really fighting. Like, let me run in here. Let me go help him out deal with Mike. This fool runs in there, bro, kicks Mike right in his chest, bro. Then he steps on Mike's leg. And I'm like, bro, he just broke Mike's leg, like, for no reason, bro. He don't even know. But Mike stands up, and I guess his leg ain't broke. I guess it's the sound effect of when he stepped on his leg. But anyways, at this point, Mike is pissed, bro, and he's like, you know what, let's go. So Mike and Chosen end up fighting each other. And then from that, we end up seeing that Daniel is in the midst of trying to keep them from fighting, but he can't because they're so heated at each other and they're going at it, in every single way. But eventually, what ends up happening is Daniel is able to stop both of them from fighting. He's able to explain to Chosen that, hey, Mike is not even on no crazy tip and we were just playing. He's able to explain to Mike that, hey, Chosen is with me, you know what I'm saying? He was confused, So they all sit down, they all end up talking about things. And then from there, we see that Miguel ends up going to Johnny's house for advice to get help with dealing with the Sam situation, right? And Johnny does give him good advice, so that was cool. And then from there we jump back to Mike, Chosen, and Daniel, and they're talking. And Mike ends up remembering that there was this attorney that Terry had used to draw up some type of paperwork, and I can't exactly remember what it was about, but it was something that was bad. And if Daniel could reach out to that attorney and get that hold of that paperwork, this could be something that can give him something over Terry, and he can hold that over his head, and maybe whatever it may be, right? So Mike gives the attorney's number to Daniel, and then from there we see Daniel actually go to call that attorney, but the attorney doesn't pick up, so he leaves a message, right? So then from there we see Miguel goes to see Sam, and they both have a talk. They both apologize for the wrongings that they done to each other, and for how they haven't been there for each other in the right way. But after all that is said, Sam does decide that she needs a break. She needs time to figure out who she is, and he Miguel agrees to that, and they both agree to be friends until they can get back to being boyfriend and girlfriend, if that's even what happens, right? So he ends up leaving the area, and you're thinking everything's cool, but this fool just starts crying, bro. Like, he's hurt, you know what I'm saying? And then he like, as soon as he's like left the place, he like drops the necklace that he bought for her on the ground, like. And I just want to say, bro, like, the dude that plays Miguel is a great actor. He may not have every aspect of acting down, but the emotional part, like when he's crying and stuff like that, bro, like, it just, like, you feel it, bro. You feel it. And it wasn't just that scene, but it was also the scene in the last episode when you saw him, disappointed about find out who his father was, and Johnny coming to help him out and stuff like that. Like, it just, he handles the crying emotion really well. You feel me? So anyways, and also he should be sad because he just dealt with finding out who his father really was. He dealt with finding out that his mother lied about his father not knowing about father knowing about him and still telling her to leave. His father never knew about him. You know what I'm saying? He's also now dealing with the fact that he has to break up with his girlfriend or leave his girlfriend, and they just be friends instead of being boyfriend and girlfriend. And there's a chance that at the end of the day that they may not ever get back with each other in the same way that they were before. So he's allowed to feel that emotion. He's allowed to cry, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. But yeah, he ends up leaving, bro. He drops that necklace. Carmen goes to visit Johnny, and they end up talking. And, Johnny's like, look, I'm ready for this kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting things ready. I'm going to be here for you. I love you. I would love to have a baby with you. And since that's what's happening, let's do it. And then you're like thinking like, oh, this fool done all this stuff. He's prepared himself and everything like that. Carmen's going to be like, I'm not pregnant, actually. You know what I'm saying? But she is pregnant. So they will have a baby. Congrats to the both of you. Even though this is a fake world, fake fake little TV show, whatever. Congrats to both of you. Like, that's dope. That's dope, right? So they're both ecstatic about the situation. And then from there, we see that Daniel's at this spa. He's like in the steam room. And all of a sudden, we end up hearing, like from like a, because you can't see anything in the steam room, but we end up hearing the message that he left for that attorney. And someone starts approaching him. And you're like, what's going on? And it ends up being Terry. And he's like, yo, I told you to stop when you could. Now you're not going to be able to stop. I'm going to deal with my old friend, which is Mike. And then I'm coming after you. And then he leaves the steam room. And then Daniel's like, like, so then from there, we see Mike going to his furniture shop, bro. And we find out that it's been burnt down, or it's burning down. And so he walks up to the building. He's crying. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, this is what Terry meant when he said, I'm going to handle my old friend first. So he burnt down his Mike's furniture store, bro. And that's basically the premise of this episode, bro. Just the way it ends, you already know that Mike is about to, because he said he's living a clean life. He doesn't want to da-da-da-da. He's about to team up with Daniel and Chosen. He's about to go with them to go get Terry. I guarantee that. But yeah, that's basically the premise of this episode. 3 of my favorite scenes. One would be Chosen and versus Mike, bro. That was hilarious. Just the way that it happened. What happened afterwards. Also the fighting that they were doing against each other was dope. You know what I'm saying? Very dope. Very dope. And Daniel trying to stop him. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. That would be my first favorite scene. Second favorite scene would be Sam versus her demons. Like her actually taking on all the problems that she had. And then finally finding that real problem, which was her. You know what I'm saying? Just taking that on, even though she about to lose, like it just was a cool situation. It was a cool situation. Really brought the meaning of fighting your demons to another level, right? To a visual interpretation, right? So that'll be my second favorite scene. Third favorite scene would be Johnny and Carmen. You know what I'm saying? Realizing that they're about to have a kid, they're both ecstatic, bro. Like it was a good. I like that scene. It was dope. It was dope. For me, the grade for this is gonna have to be a 10 out of 10 for sure. You feel me? So far, every episode has been great. The story, the way it's going is great. I'm loving everything, bro. Like they can't miss. They can hit, but they can't miss. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely 10 out of 10 for me for this episode. If you guys saw the episode, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. All right. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's. This is Q's Inside. I am Callie. Until next time.